An attorney called him a thug for the Lord. His daughter dubbed him the rescue machine. To those who loved him, he was a hero, a tough, tenacious, cantankerous, lovable hero, a proud Marine who took to heart, both on and off the bench, the motto, "Leave no one behind." To his critics, he was a bleeding heart liberal on the notorious Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, a would-be social engineer, a judicial activist who ruled with his heart instead of his head. He was a judge for over 50 years. When he died, still on the bench at 94, it was said, "In the field of law and public interest, there are stars, there are superstars, and then there's Harry Pragerson."
This morning, Harry's family and I laid his body to rest at the VA cemetery in Westwood. We said Kaddish for his soul, and we laughed at the certainty with which we knew that Harry, after surveying his new surroundings, would have said, "It's about time. I have always wanted to live on the West Side." That was Harry. Funny as hell. He did not care about convention or much else other than living in the best tradition of the Hebrew prophets who railed against oppression and hypocrisy and stupidity and anything or anyone that subverted the rights of the poor or the powerless or the vulnerable.
We all recognize this, right? This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming today to honor my dad. I loved him so much. I have to tell you, he was the best father in the entire world, and I know you loved him too. On the night that he passed away, I sat in his office. First glance, when you walk in, it looks like Hurricane Katrina just blew through it. There are papers everywhere, there's books everywhere, pictures, mementos, you name it, it's all stuffed into this very messy office. And you could learn a lot from him just studying what was on those shelves. As I went through his desk, I found hundreds of letters, handwritten notes, and cards. There were lots and lots of pictures, mostly pictures of my beautiful mother, Bern. There were pictures of my brother Dean and I. There were pictures of the late Congressman Jim Corman, who was very dear to him, pictures of guys he served with in the Marines, and finally pictures of lots and lots of people in this audience, from the Bell Shelter or the courthouse, or any one of the hundreds of charity events that he was schlepping to almost every night of the week. If you really wanted to understand what made my dad tick, all you had to do was sit in that office.
Robert Alton Harris was strapped in a chair in the gas chamber. The acid bath was filling beneath him, and then the telephone rang.
That's when federal appeals judge Harry Pregerson jumped in.
Evidently, federal courts have ruled that San Diego County can make welfare applicants submit to unannounced searches of their homes. Bleeding heart judges called San Diego's program shameful and attack on the poor. One of them added, the government does not search through the closets and medicine cabinets of farmers receiving subsidies. They do not dig through the laundry baskets and garbage pails of real estate developers or radio broadcasters. Of course not, because those people aren't on welfare. They receive corporate subsidies. Totally different.
The federal appeals court based in San Francisco has refused to reinstate President Trump's immigration order.
President Trump's travel ban met its end at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. By this afternoon, the president was telling the Washington Examiner he would absolutely consider breaking up the Ninth Circuit.
You go to the Ninth Circuit and it's a disgrace, and I'm going to put in a major complaint because you cannot win if you're us a case in the Ninth Circuit. And I think it's a disgrace.
I'm not going to sign any order that's going to have the effect of kicking out of this country kids who were born here and who have the birthright as American citizens. I'm just not going to do it because I think it's morally wrong.